So ankle joint, it is also known as talocrural joint. Okay, formed between the talus and the crural bones. Crural bones means tibia and fibula. And it is a strong weight bearing joint placed between the lower ends of tibia and fibula and the talus. Okay. Next, what type of joint is ankle joint? Very frequently asked in your viva. It is a hinge variety of uniaxial synovial joint. Okay, ankle joint. Type of joint is very important. Now we will discuss the articular surfaces involved in formation of the joint. So the ankle joint is a compound articulation between the distal ends of tibia and fibula and superior surface of the talus. So proximal articular surface is formed by the proximal or superior articular surface is formed by a socket or ankle mortise. Okay, and this ankle mortise is also called tibiofibular mortise. An ankle mortise is formed by these following structures: lower end of tibia, medial malleolus, lateral malleolus, and inferior transverse tibiofibular ligaments. You can see here, this is ankle joint. This upper articular surface is formed by the lower end of tibia, lower end of fibula. Here is the medial malleolus, lateral malleolus of fibula, and the tibiofibular, transverse tibiofibular ligaments, which are connecting the lower ends of tibia and the fibula. Okay. Next, distal articular surface, it is formed by the distal or inferior articular surface formed by articular part of superior, medial and lateral surface of the talus. You can see here, this bone is talus, okay, just beneath the tibia, here is talus. So you can see the superior surface, medial surface and lateral surface of talus. All these three parts are taking part in formation of the ankle joint, okay. And tibia or fibula together forming the tibiofibular mortise, okay, the socket. So superior pulley-shaped articular surface of talus articulates with inferior surface of lower end of the tibia, and the comma-shaped articular surface facet on the medial surface of the talus articulates with lateral aspect of the medial malleolus. You can see here, this is right-sided tibia and fibula. They are articulating with each other here, and here it is forming a socket, the tibiofibular mortise. Okay. So this undersurface, the lower surface of the tibia, it is articulating with the upper surface of the talus. Okay, and this medial here, the lateral surface of the medial malleolus, here it articulates with the medial surface of the talus. Comma shaped articular surface is present here, okay, and laterally triangular shaped articular surface is present on the medial surface of lateral malleolus, okay, which articulate with the lateral surface of the talus. Okay, so laterally articular shape of the articular surface is important. Laterally triangular facet, medially comma shaped facet. Okay, and on the superior surface, their superior surface of talus is like a pulley like articular surface, which will articulate with the inferior surface of the tibia. Okay, understood? So shape of the articular surface is important. So triangular articular facet on the lateral surface of talus articulates with medial aspect of the lateral malleolus. Next, stability of this joint is important for standing up and locomotion. So the superior articular surface of body of talus, see this one is superior articular surface of body of talus. This is also known as trochlear surface. Trochlear means this is pulley like, okay. So during dorsiflexion, the ankle joint is stable. This superior surface is wider anteriorly and narrower posteriorly. You can see here, it is wider anteriorly and narrower posteriorly. And during the dorsiflexion is like this, okay, and plantarflexion you like this, okay. So during the dorsiflexion, Ankle joint is stable as the anterior wider part of trochlea moves posteriorly and fits properly with the tibiofibular mortise and gives stability to the joint. But in plantar flexion, the narrow posterior part, this part moves forward and does not fit properly in the tibialofibular mortise, and it makes the ankle joint unstable. Okay, so you have to remember in dorsiflexion, ankle joint is most stable. Okay, this line you remember for your Viva and MCQs. Okay, next is factors maintaining the stability of ankle joint. Okay, so if long question comes from ankle joint, you have to write down all this. Okay, articular surfaces, type of joint, the stability, fracture, factors involved in stability, different movements, muscle involved in the movements, all this. Okay, so what are the factors? Reciprocal shape and close interlocking of the articular surfaces, strong ligaments, medial and lateral, collateral ligaments, strong inferior transverse tibiofibular ligament, and tendons that cross the joint deep to the flexor and extensor retinacula, and the downward projecting medial and lateral malleoli. All these factors helps in stability of the ankle joint. Okay, if there will be disturbance in these factors, there is chance of dislocation. Okay, dislocation at the ankle joint or sprain. Okay, so this is superior articular surface, this is trochlear surface, and you can see laterally triangular articular surface is present and medially coma cepheid articular surface. And lateral triangular facet articulates with lateral malleolus, and this coma cepheid surface articulates with the medial malleolus. Here also superior surface, and superior surface is wider anteriorly and narrower posteriorly. Okay, medially coma cepheid surface, laterally triangular. And this part is the head of the talus, this is neck of the talus. Okay. So next we are going to the ligaments of the ankle joint. These ligaments are injured sometimes during the sprain of the ankle. Okay, very commonly occurs. So the ankle joint is supported by these ligaments. First one is fibrous capsule, okay, which encloses the whole ankle joint. Next is deltoid ligament, lateral collateral ligament, and inferior transverse tibiofibular ligament. Okay, so we'll discuss these ligaments in details. First, fibrous capsule. It surrounds the joint cavity completely. It is a synovial joint, so it will have a joint cavity and which is surrounded by the fibrous capsule. And it is weak on the anterior aspect and posterior aspects. Okay, and on the lateral side, it is stronger. What is the attachment points? Capsule is attached to the margins of the articular surfaces of medial malleolus, tibia, lateral malleolus, and talus. And the synovial membrane lines the inner aspect of the capsule, and a part of the synovial membrane projects upward into the distal tibiofibular joint. Okay. And the fibrous capsule surrounds the joint cavity completely. We have discussed it. Okay. Next is deltoid ligament or medial collateral ligament. So the deltoid ligament is a strong triangular band. See this one. This one is the deltoid ligament. Strong triangular band that reinforces the medial aspect of the ankle joint. And the ligament has a superficial part and a deep part. So proximal attachment of these two parts, both the parts are attached superiorly to the apex and margins of the medial malleolus. Here it is attached to the medial malleolus. And distal attachment, the superficial part is divided into three compartments based on distal or inferior attachment. First is anterior tibionavicular. So these are the anterior tibionavicular parts. This is attached to the tuberosity of the navicular bone and medial margin of the spring ligament. Here is the spring ligament. So it is attached to the tuberosity of navicular and medial margin of the spring ligament. Next is middle tibiocalcaneal ligament. This one is tibiocalcaneal ligament. It is attached to the tubercle on the lateral surface of the calcaneum. Next is posterior part. Posterior part is tibiotalar. Tibia is attached with the talus. It is attached to the medial tubercle and adjoining part of the medial surface of the talus. Okay, so these three components together forming the superficial part of the deltoid ligament. Deltoid ligament can individually come as a short note. Okay, deltoid ligament is important. Anteriorly tibionavicular, middle tibiocalcaneal, posteriorly tibiotalar. Okay. Next is deep part. Deep part forms anterior tibiotalar ligament, and this is attached to the anterior part of the medial surface of the talus. Okay, this is lying deeply, not shown here. Next is lateral collateral ligament. Okay, lateral collateral ligament is a strong compound ligament that reinforces the lateral aspect of the ankle joint and consists of three parts: anterior talofibular, here anterior talofibular, posterior talofibular, and calcaneofibular. Okay, so these three components together forming the lateral collateral ligament. Next is inferior transverse tibiofibular ligament. It is a strong, thick band that extends transversely from the upper part of the malleolar fossa of the fibula to the posterior border of articular surface of the tibia. Okay, you can see here. See, this is malleolar fossa. Some of batches have covered fibula. So this depression at the lower end of fibula is malleolar fossa. So transverse tibiofibular ligament will extend from this malleolar fossa up to the posterior margin of the articular surface of the tibia. Okay, so here it articulates like this, and the ligament is extending from malleolar fossa to the posterior border of the articular surface of lower end of tibia. Okay. So the joint capsule of ankle joint is attached to the margins of articular surfaces except these points. Posterior superiorly, the capsule is attached to the inferior transverse tibiofibular ligament, posterior superiorly. And anterior inferiorly, capsule extends on the neck of the talus to some distance. Okay. Next, some ligaments, anterior talofibular ligament. It is a weak band that extends anteriorly from anterior margin of lateral malleolus to neck of talus. Next is posterior talofibular ligament. It is a strong band that extends posteriorly from lower part of the malleolar fossa of the fibula to the lateral tubercle of the talus. And calcaneofibular ligament, it is a long rounded cord, extends from apex of the lateral malleolus to the tubercle on the lateral aspect of the calcaneum. Okay. Next we are going to different relations of the ankle joint. See, this is a cross section through the ankle joint. Here you can see the talus. On the medial side, the medial malleolus part of tibia, and on the lateral side, lateral malleolus, that is part of fibula. Okay, and see, these structure is related posteriorly and these structures are related anteriorly. So this is lateral side and this is medial side. Okay, so the ankle joint is related anteriorly from medial to lateral. Here, from medial to lateral, anteriorly related to this structure. First is tibialis anterior. Okay, this is written wrong actually. This will be okay. Here is the tibialis anterior. Next is extensor hallucis longus. Here is the extensor hallucis longus. This tibia and fibula, this is written wrong. Okay, so this one will be tibia, here will be fibula. So here is the tibialis anterior, then extensor hallucis longus, then the neurovascular bundle. Okay, anterior tibial artery and then nerve. Nerve is the anterior compartment, deep peroneal nerve. Next there is extensor digitorum longus and the peroneus tarsius. Okay, you can remember like this: the Himalayas are never dry places. T, the H is hallucis, Himalayas. R never, R is artery, never is nerve. Then D is the dry deep peroneal nerve, and places is peroneus tarsius. Okay, another mnemonic you can remember: TB hole ami bhai noroker dak pai. Okay, so TB is tibialis anterior, hole is extensor hallucis, Amoeba is artery with venicomitantis. Okay, artery tibial, anterior tibial artery with venicomitantis. Hole amoebae. Then noroker is N is nerve. Okay, deep peroneal nerve. D is the dark pi, which extensor digitorum longus, and pi tarsius, peroneus tarsius. Okay, so these are the anterior relations. Next, posterior relation are these from medial to lateral. Related posteriorly from medial to lateral, tibial is posterior, then flexor digitorum longus. Next is posterior tibial artery, then tibial nerve, and flexor hallucis longus. Okay. Here the mnemonic is tiktiki dim bhenge ami bhai nakal holam. Okay. So tiktiki is the tibialis posterior. Okay. Dim is the flexor digitorum longus. Bhenge ami bhai is artery with the venicomitantis. Nakal is nerve, tibial nerve. Holam is flexor hallucis longus. Okay, so you can remember like this. And this mnemonic also you can remember. Okay, next is posterolateral relation. Okay, posterolateral relation. Two peroneus muscles are there. Ankle joint is crossed posterolaterally by the tendons of peroneus longus superficially, peroneus brevis at a deeper plane. Okay, so this will be fibula, this is tibia. This is oppositely written. Next, we are going to blood supply and innervation. So, ankle joint is supplied by the malleolar branch of anterior tibial, posterior tibial, and peroneal arteries. Okay, and nerve supply is by branch of deep peroneal nerve and the tibial nerves. Next, we are going to different movements. Movements, only two main movements takes place at this ankle joint. This is dorsiflexion, okay, going towards the leg, and away from the leg is the plantiflexion. So dorsiflexion, forefoot is raised, angle between the front of leg and the dorsum of foot is decreased. So this is dorsiflexion, and it is done by tibialis anterior, extensor digitorum longus, extensor hallucis longus. Next, this is plantiflexion. In plantar flexion, forefoot is depressed and the angle between the front of leg and dorsum of foot is increased. Okay, so you can see the angle is increased in plantiflexion, and root values are S1, S2, and for dorsiflexion it is L5, S1. And these are the muscle involved in plantiflexion. Muscle involved are very, very important. You must remember, plantiflexion muscles are the gastrocnemius, plantaris, tibialis posterior, flexor hallucis longus, flexor digitorum longus. Okay. So these are the muscles. So dorsiflexion, forefoot is raised, and main muscle is tibialis anterior. Accessory muscles are these two: extensor digitorum longus, extensor hallucis longus. And plantiflexion, in plantiflexion, forefoot is depressed. Main muscle is gastrocnemius. Accessory muscles are plantaris, tibialis posterior, flexor hallucis longus, flexor digitorum longus. Okay. Dorsiflex position is a closed back position of the ankle joint, and in dorsiflexion there is maximum congruence of the articular surfaces and tension in the ligaments that stabilizes the joints and prevents dislocation. Okay. So in dorsiflexion position there is less chance of dislocation, but in plantar flex position It is a loose backed position of the ankle joint, and in plantarflexion, the narrow posterior part of the trochlear surface of talus loosely fits into the tibiofibular mortise, and that makes the joint unstable and prone for dislocation. Okay, and the range of movement of dorsiflexion of ankle is 20 degree, and plantar flexion is almost 45 degree. Okay, this you remember for your MCQ. Next, we are going to different clinical aspects of the ankle joint. First is ankle sprain. Foot is folded like this, then there will be tearing of different ligaments, leads to ankle sprain. And ankle sprain is partial or complete tear in the ligaments due to excessive inversion of the plantar flexed foot. And the lateral collateral ligament is commonly gets sprained due to its weakness than the medial collateral ligament. Okay, next, as it resists the inversion, here is the lateral side and this ligament is torn here. Okay, this lateral ligament prevents inversion, and anterior talofibular part of the lateral ligament is affected most. So this is anterior talofibular part of the lateral collateral ligament, which is most commonly involved in ankle sprain. Next is dislocation of ankle. Dislocation of ankle joint occurs mostly in plantifex position, as the joint becomes unstable in this position, usually associated with malleolar fractures, either medial or either lateral malleolar fractures. Next is Pott's fracture. What is Pott's fracture? It is fracture dislocation of the ankle that involves these following features: oblique fracture of the lateral malleolus, transverse fracture of medial malleolus, anterior dislocation of the tibia over the talus, and sometimes fracture of the posterior margin of lower end of tibia. All these are together called third malleolus. This lower end of tibia is sometimes called third malleolus. Okay, also occur. So these are the features of Pott fractures. All these are together present. Here you can see the Pott's fracture, oblique fracture of lateral malleolus, transverse fracture of medial malleolus, and anterior dislocation of the tibia over the talus. Okay. Next is optimum position of the ankle joint. During application of plaster cast in the ankle region, the ankle joint should be maintained in optimum position. What is optimum position? That is slight plantar flexed position. Okay, that is the optimum position. So you will do plaster cast during your internship. Okay, so you have to know these points, where you, in which position you will place the foot. Use slight plantar fixed position. Okay, next is ankle ring. The ankle joint with associated ligaments form the ankle ring. Next is ankle arthroplasty. It is the replacement of the ankle joint with prosthesis, and it may be performed in severe cases of ankle arthrodesis or fusion and injuries. Okay, in severe cases of fusion, when there is no movement of the ankle joint, then you have to replace the joint, that is ankle arthroplasty. So we have discussed the ankle joint and its clinical aspect. Next we are going to tibiofibular joints. 3 tibiofibular joints are there. Tibiofibular articulation occurs at 3 joints. Superior tibiofibular, here is the superior tibiofibular joint. Next is middle tibiofibular joint and the inferior tibiofibular joint. Superior tibiofibular joint, here this is plain synovial joint, and it is formed by articulation between the head of the fibula, head is head of fibula, and lateral condyle of the tibia. Okay, and movements occurring only a small range of gliding or rotatory movement are permitted to adjust the lateral malleolus during movement of the ankle. Okay, so only slight gliding or rotatory movement occurs at the superior tibiofibular joint. Next we are going to this middle tibiofibular joint. So you remember it, superior tibiofibular joint is plain synovial joint. Middle tibiofibular joint is fibrous joint formed by the interosseous membrane. Type of joint you will be very frequently asked during your bones viva, also can be given in your OSPE, okay? In X-ray plates also. Next is inferior tibiofibular joint, that is also a fibrous joint, syndesmosis variety of fibrous joint. So we are going to middle tibiofibular joint. This is a fibrous joint formed by the interosseous membrane which is connecting the interosseous borders of tibia and the fibula. What is the direction of fibers? Fibers are directed downward and laterally. Okay. Say here, this is the direction downward and laterally. And passages, this membrane is not continuous. There is a passage in the upper part and the lower part. At the upper end, opening in the interosseous membrane gives passage to the anterior tibial vessels, and small opening at the lower end gives passage to the perforating branch of peroneal artery. Okay. So these are the passages, and what are the structures passing through passages. So what is the function of interosseous membrane? It provides attachments to different muscles of the leg, okay, and binds firmly the tibia and fibula together and resists the downward pull of fibula by the peroneal muscles, okay. So these are the functions of interosseous membrane. So this is middle tibiofibular joint, which is fibrous joint formed by the interosseous membrane, okay. Fibrous joint or syndesmosis you can say. Next is inferior tibiofibular joint. Here is the inferior tibiofibular joint. It is also a syndesmosis. It connects the lower ends of tibia and fibula by a very strong interosseous ligament. There are two interosseous tibiofibular ligaments, anterior and posterior tibiofibular ligaments. Posterior tibiofibular ligaments, it is stronger than the anterior tibiofibular ligament, and the lower and deep portions of the posterior tibiofibular ligaments form the strong, thick, elastic band called the inferior transverse tibiofibular ligament. That was one ligament of the ankle joint, okay, inferior transverse tibiofibular ligament, which is a part of the posterior tibiofibular ligament. And the inferior tibiofibular joint permits slight lateral rotation of the lateral malleolus during the dorsiflexion at the ankle joint. Okay, so this is the movement occurring here. Inferior tibiofibular joint permits slight lateral rotation of the lateral malleolus during dorsiflexion at the ankle joint. Okay. Next, what is the innervation? Superior tibiofibular joint is supplied by nerve to popliteus and recurrent gellicular nerve. Middle tibiofibular joint supplied by nerve to popliteus, and inferior tibiofibular joint is supplied by deep peroneal nerve, tibial nerve, and the saphenous nerve. Okay, so these are the nerve supply of the joint. Okay, so that's all. So you must remember the type of joint. Superior tibiofibular joint is plain synovial joint. Middle tibiofibular joint is fibrous joint formed by interosseous membrane, that is syndesmosis, and inferior tibiofibular joint is also a syndesmosis. Okay, understood? Fibrous joint. So you can see here, this is the ankle joint formed by the tibiofibular mortise above and talus below. Okay, this is a hinge type of joint. This is superior tibiofibular joint formed between the lateral malleolus of tibia and the head of the fibula, plain type of synovial joint. Here, connecting the two interosseous margins, here will be formation of the middle tibiofibular joint, that is syndesmosis or fibrous joint, and here is formation of inferior tibiofibular joint. This is also connected, lower end of tibia and fibula connected by the ligament and some fibrous tissue, and that is also syndesmosis. Okay, understood? An ankle joint is synovial joint, hinge type of synovial joint. Understood? So you must remember the type of joint. Ankle joint you prepare as a short note, and those ligaments, spring ligament, deltoid ligament, all these are important ligament that you prepare for your short note. Okay, and Tibiofibular joints generally does not come. If comes, can come as a short note and important for your Viva and OSPI. Okay, and X-ray plate OSPI. Understood? Okay, that's it. Huh? কি হ্যাঁ মাঝেরটাও সিন্ডেসমোসিস নিচেরটাও সিন্ডেসমোসিস দুটোই ফাইব্রাস জয়েন্ট ইন কেস অফ হাতে কিন্তু অপোজিট ছিল হাতে শুধু মাঝেরটা সিন্ডেসমোসিস এখানে মাঝেরটাও অ্যান্ড লোয়ার এন্ডও সিন্ডেসমোসিস ওকে হাতে আপার অ্যান্ড লোয়ার ইজ radioulnar joint. Superior and inferior radioulnar joint is synovial. Middle radioulnar joint is only syndesmosis. Here both the middle and inferior joint is syndesmosis or fibrous joint. Okay. Only upper one is synovial, that is plain synovial. Okay, understood? Any queries from this topic? No queries? Okay, so tomorrow we will discuss joints of the foot. Okay. You read, your foot is covered, articulated foot? No. Okay, so you go and read the names of different bones of the foot. Okay, tomorrow we will discuss the joints, bones, joints, their movements, inversion, eversion, all this. Okay. Any queries from today's topic? Ankle joint you prepare as a short note. Okay. Type of joint, articular surfaces, movement occurring, muscles involved in movement, all these important. Okay, that's all. And clinical aspects are important for your explain why question. Okay, POTS fracture and other things.